Hello everybody, welcome once again to another interesting video on verbal ability from Career Right. Our topic for today is omission of prepositions. A very important topic for your placement tests and entrance exams. Based on this topic, we'll see some spot the error type of problems. Now, we generally keep ourselves busy in preparing for those general prepositions. And the focus of the exams these days is changing. They don't just try to find out if you know where you should be using the prepositions. They also try to find out these days if you are aware of where you should not be using the prepositions, and that is why this topic is very important. And if you are preparing for your placement test or entrance exams, you cannot afford to miss upon this topic. Okay, so let's see some questions based on spot the error and let's try to solve them. So the first sentence that we have got here is, the director didn't allow any journalist to enter into the college campus, and your last part of the sentence is there's no error. That is the fourth option you have. Okay, so with me, let's try to find out where the error lies in this sentence. Okay, can you figure it out yourself? Just take a second and see. The director didn't allow any journalist to enter into the campus. Okay, now this first part, this doesn't have any error. Second also, no error. See the third part, enter into the campus, into the college campus. So now if you remember the last video that we did on prepositions, we learned that whenever we are talking about physical buildings, we do not use enter into. We just say enter the building, right? So enter the college, it would be. So this into should not come here. Okay, the sentence should simply be, the director didn't allow any journalist to enter the college campus. Okay, so this is the part, third part, which has an error in it. Now if you are entering into a deal, into an agreement, or if you are signing a treaty, something of that kind, then it is enter into. But now here this college, it is a physical building that we are, college campus. This is a physical campus that we are talking about, right? So it should simply be enter the college campus. Okay, let's go to the second sentence. The famous actress married with a high profile businessman, and the fourth part says no error. Can you read out the sentence for yourself and see where the error lies? The famous actress, absolutely fine here, married with a high profile businessman. So the first part is fine, the third part is fine. The error lies in this second part, married with, right? With married, you don't need this with. However, if you had said the famous actress got married to, that was correct. But here, in this case, this married with, this with should not occur here. Okay, so this second part has a mistake here. Let's go to the third sentence. A delegation is meeting the PM this evening to discuss about the solutions to new economic challenges. Let's see. Let's read the sentence again. You can read it for yourself. A delegation is meeting the PM. No mistake here. This evening to discuss about the solutions to new economic challenges. And the fourth part says no error. But if you look at this second part, it says this evening to discuss about. Now a word like discuss or describe or elaborate, these type of words do not need this about with them. They directly take the object. Okay, so this evening to discuss the solutions to new economic challenges, that would have been the right thing to say. So this second part has an error in it, and I said if for words like describe, elaborate or discuss, here you do not need this about with them. You can simply say this evening to discuss the solutions. Okay, so let's read the fourth sentence. Police are investigating into the matter to rule out any anti-national activities. Okay, now when you read this sentence, are you able to locate the error yourself? Just try to find out. Police are investigating into the matter to rule out any anti-national activities. So what's actually happening in this sentence? In this sentence, some incidents has occurred and the police are looking into it actually. And they are trying to find out if there are any anti-national activities involved here in this incident. Okay. So this usage of this investigating into, this is the mistake here, right? So this should actually be number 1. Okay. You can correct it for yourself. So police are investigating into the matter. This into should not occur here. Why? Because this word investigating, it doesn't require into with it, because it itself means look into. Okay. So basically the sentence says the police are looking into the matter to rule out any anti-national activities. Okay. If you include this additional into, this becomes meaningless. Okay. There is no use of it, having it here. Okay. The word simply is police are investigating the matter. That is what it should be. So the first part of the sentence is what? Is the error here. Coming to the 5th sentence. Despite of repeated warnings, Rahul comes late to the class, complained the class teacher. See, in these type of problems, spot the error type of problems, don't look for those spelling mistakes, those type of petty mistakes. Okay. They will not give you those type of mistakes. They'll basically give you some conceptual mistakes. Try to look for them. Okay. Despite of repeated warnings, Rahul comes late to the class, complained the class teacher. So Rahul is a student and he comes to the class late, and the teacher is fed up of that. So they complain about it. Okay. So they complain to their parents that your son comes late to the class. But this first part of the sentence, it has got an error in it. And what's the error? This despite of is actually the error here. Why? Because this of doesn't come with despite. In spite of or despite. You can write in spite of repeated warnings. That would be fine. But if you want to use despite, you would say despite repeated warnings. Okay. So just learn the usage, the correct usage of this word despite. Okay. Let's move on to the sentence number 6. One needs 75% marks at the least to pass in this exam. And the 4th part says no error. Can you read out the sentence to yourself once again? One needs 75% marks at the least to pass in this exam. Where do you think the error is? The error is actually in the 3rd part of the sentence. Why this is an error? Because this pass here, this is a transitive verb here. Transitive verb is a verb that needs that needs to pass its action on the object, right? So pass in this exam, that's not the right thing to do. You should write to pass this exam. Simply to pass this exam. Sentence number 7. We resemble with our parents because genetic information is passed from one generation to the other through the DNA, is what the sentence reads. Okay. Can you read it for yourself again? We resemble with our parents because genetic information is passed from one generation to the other through the DNA. So where does the error lie, or is there no error in this sentence? Try to find it out for yourself. Now, if you read the first part of this sentence, we resemble with our parents, okay, because genetic information is passed, there is no error in second part, from one generation to the other through the DNA. No error in the 3rd part also, okay. But read this, we resemble with, this is actually the error here, because with the word resemble, we do not need to use this with. Many a times we do this, we write either resemble to or resemble with, but that is not required. The word resemble, it means to look like something, to look similar to something, similar to or alike, something like that, right? We look similar to our parents is basically what it means here, okay? So we resemble our parents, we don't resemble with our parents, okay? So this part of the sentence is actually the error here. Remember, with resemble, you can just write the sentence straight away. You do not need to use this with or to here, okay? Let's move on to the 8th sentence. I requested to the class teacher to let my son leave early from the school today. So probably a mother has gone to the school and she is requesting the class teacher that you allow my son to leave the school a little early today, okay? This is what is happening in the sentence. But now if you read the first part of this sentence, I requested to the class teacher. Again, this to, this is not required here. I requested the class teacher, you can say. Okay? Because it doesn't require a preposition with it. You can simply say, I requested the class teacher to let my son leave early. Okay? But many of you might think that with request, we never use any preposition. No, that doesn't happen. It depends upon the sentence. Okay? In this case, I requested the class teacher is what you can say directly. But see this example. My request for leave. What is happening here? I'm requesting something and I'm requesting for something. So my request for leave, it does take a preposition, but depends upon the sentence. My request for leave is fine, or I request you to join me. Okay. So you see between request and to is a preposition. You see to is a preposition here and request. Okay. But between them there is a pronoun called you here. Okay. That is why you have this to here. So in this sentence, sentence number 8, I requested the class teacher to let my son leave early. Okay, in this type of a construction, you don't require to here. Sentence number 9, the board opposed against the inclusion of another fast bowler in the team. What's the error here? Can you find it out for yourself? Read the sentence again. The board opposed against the inclusion of another fast bowler in the team. So you see the first part of the sentence here. The board opposed against. Opposed itself means that you are against something. You are objecting to it. Right? So you do not need to repeat it. The board opposed the inclusion of another fast bowler in the team is what you can say. Okay? Because this against is already contained in this word opposed. Okay? You are not agreeing to this idea. You are opposed to this idea, right? So it's not that there can never be a preposition with the word opposed. If it was the board is opposed to the idea, then that would have been fine. But this against is not required here. Okay? Pay attention because these things are very, very important. At many a times you will find them occurring in your exams. And if you're not aware of them, you'll not be able to identify them because these are certain things we use in our day-to-day lives also, and we think that they're absolutely normal, but they're not normal, they're not correct. Okay, but you have to know that these are not correct to be able to solve them in the exam. Sentence number 10, as responsible citizens we must obey to the laws of the land, and the fourth part says no error. So let's read the sentence again. As responsible citizens, no error, we must obey to the laws of the land. Where do you think the error is? The error is actually in the second part of the sentence here. What's the error? Try to find it out. We must obey to. It's not obey to. We must obey. Right? Which means you follow the guidance, you follow the laws. Right? Something of that sort it means. So it is simply as responsible citizens we must obey the laws of the land. It should not be obey to. Let's read the 11th sentence. Our digital marketing course comprises of 7 video lectures, 3 exercises and 1 hour of interaction with the trainer. Fantastic. Let's read this sentence again. Our digital marketing course comprises of 7 video lectures, 3 exercises and 1 hour of interaction with the trainer. So where does the error lie? The error actually lies in the first part of the sentence. What's the error? The error is this comprises of. Why? Because this comprises, it doesn't require of with it. This word comprises, it in itself means consists of, right? Or is made up of. So there is no need to repeat this. You can simply say our digital marketing course comprises 7 video lectures, 3 exercises and 1 hour of interaction with the trainer. So this is simply this first part of the sentence that has got an error in it. But many of you might wonder that is it that we never use any preposition here? See this sentence. Don't get confused. Our digital marketing course is comprised of. This is fine to write. You see how we have changed it. Our digital marketing course, earlier we had comprises, right? Either you say our digital marketing course comprises these things or is comprised of these things. That is fine. Okay. Let's read the 12th sentence now. It took me 5 hours to reach to Mumbai. Very common mistake that most of us commit. Okay. Now the mistake here is actually in the third part of the sentence, and this is a very common mistake that we commit in our day-to-day talks also. It says reach Mumbai, not reach to Mumbai. It took me 5 hours to reach Mumbai. So third part of the sentence is what is a mistake here. See, all of these things in English, they are not difficult. They are very easy. The problems occur because we don't read sufficiently and we don't pay attention to the concepts while reading. Okay. So just ensure that you practice sufficiently, you read sufficiently. And now that you are aware of these things, these type of things that I'm pointing out in this video, you will be able to locate them very easily in the newspaper or in any magazine or in any article that you read. Okay. So just ensure that when you're reading, you are paying sufficient attention to it. Things will themselves start becoming very easy for you. They'll not be tough anymore. Okay. So just ensure that don't get scared. These are very easy. Just remember this much. Okay. And read sufficiently. Sentence number 13. His actions and words contradict against each other and fill me with doubt. So where does the error lie in this sentence? Try to read it out to yourself once again. His actions and words contradict against each other and fill me with doubt. So what's actually happening in this sentence is somebody is doing something and saying doing something else and saying something else. So their actions and words, they are not supporting each other, and that is what is filling the other person with doubt. So they are trying to say his actions and words contradict against each other. So basically the error here lies in the second part of the sentence. This against doesn't need to come here because this word contradict, it itself carries this meaning of against in it. Okay. So whenever you are using contradiction, contradictory, contradict, you can directly use it. You don't need this against here. Okay. So the sentence should simply be his actions and words contradict each other. They don't match each other. Okay. They're opposite of each other. Okay. That is what it means. His actions and words contradict each other is simply what you would say. So this second part is actually the mistake here in the sentence. Sentence number 14. I'm going to Delhi for a conference this week. And the fourth part says no error. Read it for yourself again. I'm going to, no nothing, no mistake here. Delhi for a conference, no mistake here. This week. So basically this sentence doesn't show any error to me. So no error. But what they might do in the exam, they might give you one in here. Okay. I'm going to Delhi for a conference in this week. Now this becomes wrong. This in should not come here. Okay. And that is what they are going to do in the exam. If you are not aware of this, if you don't pay attention to this, then there is a high possibility that you will commit the mistake here. Okay. So pay attention. This here is used in the sense of time. Before this, you don't require in here. Okay. When you are using it in the sense of time. Let's read the next sentence. We met the advisor on that evening to discuss our investment plan. Okay. So we wanted to invest some money and that is why we met the advisor that evening. Where does the error lie? Let's read the sentence. We met the advisor, no mistake here, on that evening to discuss our investment plan. Basically, if you see, the mistake here lies in the second part of the sentence. Can you find out what the mistake is? Now I have told you even where does the mistake lie. Try to read the sentence and see if you are able to find it out yourself. We met the advisor. This on should not come here. Why? Because like in the previous sentence we did, we were using this in the sense of time. Here again we are using that in the sense of time. So we met the advisor that evening is what you would say, not on that evening. You would simply say we met the advisor that evening to discuss our investment plan. and that is why you should omit this on here, and this second part is the mistake here, right? So you see how easy these type of things are. There's actually nothing difficult about them. The only problem is we don't pay sufficient attention to them. But now that you have seen this video, you know that these type of things are there in English, and now you know their correct usage also. So whenever you are reading, make sure that you pay sufficient attention to them. And as many times you pay attention to them, they'll slowly start becoming your second nature. And by yourself, you will start using them correctly. You'll not have to make any extra efforts to do that. Okay, so let's read sentence number 16 now. If you have any doubt, contact with me, said the teacher. So what's happening in this sentence? In this sentence, probably there's a teacher in the class, and she's telling her students that if you have got any doubts, if you have not understood anything, you can come to me and ask your doubts. Okay. So if you have any doubt, contact with me, said the teacher, is what the sentence is. Okay. The error here lies in the second part of the sentence. Now, I even told you that there is an error in the second part of the sentence. Are you able to locate it? See, this with should actually not occur here. The sentence should simply be contact me. Why? Because this word contact, it is working as a transitive verb here. And since it is a transitive verb, it is directly having an effect on this pronoun me here. It doesn't ask for a preposition here. Okay. So whenever this word contact occurs as a verb, then it doesn't require any preposition with it. But now there's a possibility that some of you might start thinking that you will never use with or any other preposition with this word contact. No, that's not correct, because it depends upon the type of sentence you have got. Okay. So for example, read this sentence. Do you have any contact with your college friends? Now you see, I'm using a preposition here. Why? Because this word contact here, it is not acting as a verb here, right? So I'm saying, do you have any contact with your college friends? But contact me. Contact me means take this action. Do what? Contact me. Take this action. That is what the verb does. Okay. I hope this is becoming clear to you. And if you pay attention, as I've always told you, this is pretty easy. There's nothing difficult. All that you have to do is you have to pay attention to these things. Okay. Sentence number 17. They ordered for boiled eggs and some tea for breakfast. So what's happening here again? Many students, they think that they will never use any preposition with the word order. Okay. And we are trying to break that your myth today. They ordered for boiled eggs and some tea for breakfast. But in this particular sentence, this first part is definitely a mistake. Why? Because again, here the word order is acting as a verb here. Okay. It is only the verbs that can have the past tense. Noun pronouns cannot. Okay. So this word order, it is acting as a verb here. And I get confirmed because I'm seeing that it is in past tense also. Okay. So they ordered. Now this preposition is not required, it means. Okay. This is acting as a verb here. They ordered boiled eggs and some tea for breakfast. And similar kind of a thing happens for the word offer also. For offer also, the same thing happens. Okay. So, but if you have started to again think that you will never use any preposition with the word order, then see this sentence. Your order for boiled eggs has been cancelled. Okay. Now here I'm using a preposition because here the word order is not acting as a verb. Okay. That is why I'm using for here. But in this case, since it is acting as a verb, a transitive verb, I'm not using a preposition with it. Okay. So just pay attention to this, and I hope this has become clear to you. Sentence number 18. The king clearly mentioned that his son will succeed after him. So this is the third part of the sentence. Okay. No error is missing, but let's not pay attention to that. Okay. The king clearly mentioned that his son will succeed after him. Where does the error lie? Can you find out? It is this third part that's a mistake here. Why? Because this word succeed, it in itself carries the word after. It will come after it. Something will happen after that. Okay. So it should simply be the king clearly mentioned that his son will succeed him. This after should not be here. So this third part of the sentence is a mistake here. Similarly, the king it could have been precede before. Many a times they give you precede before. The word precede in itself carries the meaning, the word before. So this doesn't require this word before with it. Okay, it should simply be precede something. Pay attention to that also. Okay, succeed and precede, they do not require prepositions after them. Okay, and now coming to the final set of sentences for this video. Sentence number 19. Leave the hostel with bag and baggage, ordered the warden. Now, if you read this sentence, what's happening here? In this sentence, there's a warden and they're asking the occupant to leave the hostel with all their belongings. Right? That's what is happening here. So, what's the error here now? Leave the hostel, no mistake, with bag and baggage. The mistake actually lies in the second part of the sentence. Can you figure it out now? The mistake is actually this. This with should not occur here. Why? Because this bag and baggage, this is a phrase which is used as it is. You do not require any preposition with it. Okay. So this second part of the sentence is actually a mistake. The sentence should simply read, leave the hostel, bag and baggage, ordered the warden. Okay. Sentence number 20. Let me emphasize upon the facts and set the tone right. Can you read the sentence again for yourself? Let me emphasize upon the facts and set the tone right. Now, if you see the second and the third part, there's no mistake here. The mistake is actually in the first part of the sentence. And the mistake is this. This upon should not come here. Let me emphasize the facts and set the tone right. Why? Because when you want to say emphasis or emphasize, you can say, let me place emphasis on the facts. Right? Let me place stress on the facts. Right? This is what actually you are trying to say. Let me place stress on the facts. But you cannot say, let me stress upon the facts. No. You would simply say, let me emphasize the facts and set the tone right. Okay. So don't assume that you will never use any preposition with the word emphasis. It is just how the sentence is constructed. If it is, let me emphasize, then there is no preposition involved. Otherwise, if it is simply, let me place emphasis, then you can have a preposition. Sentence number 21. The dog attacked on the little boy passing by. And do you think there is a error here at all, or is it no error? Let's read the sentence again. The dog attacked on the little boy passing by. So if you see first part, there's no mistake here. Third part, no mistake here. Either it should be no error or there has to be an error in the second part of the sentence. So it is actually, the error is here in the second part of the sentence. This on should not come here. The dog attacked the little boy, because what is happening here is this word attack is acting as a transitive verb here and it is having a direct impact on the little boy. So it doesn't require a preposition with it. You can simply say the dog attacked the little boy passing by. Right? So this second part is actually the mistake here. But if you are wondering that you will never use any preposition with the word attack, then I have to tell you that it depends again on the construction of the sentence. See this one. Attack on national integrity will never be tolerated. Okay. So you see we are using a preposition here because here this word attack, it is not being used as a verb. Attack on national integrity will never be tolerated. This is fine here. But when it is acting as a verb here and especially as a transitive verb here, then there is no preposition involved. Okay. So guys, with this we come to the end of this video on omission of prepositions. And I sincerely hope that whatever we have learned today in this video is going to help you in cracking your placement tests and entrance exams also. We will be releasing a lot of new videos also on verbal ability. If you want to stay updated, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And if you have found today's video useful, make sure that you give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends also. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Till then, bye-bye and take care.